Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Give me a minute. I've got to get myself logged on here and find it in my own feed. And there we are. I'm getting better at finding this now. Okay. All right. Got it going. Wait a few minutes. Good morning, Doris. How are you today? Nice to have you with us. Hi, Tina. How are you? How's the baby doing? Oh, she is growing so fast, Tina. That picture of you and Brett and her. Oh my gosh, that was adorable from your birthday. She is just growing fast. Morning, Arla. Nice to have you with us. And another Doris. Nice to have you with us. We are going to do an experiment today, and it either works or it doesn't. Good morning, Patsy. Oh, from Maine. Nice to have you with us, too. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, Doris, did you understand my message that I just sent to you about those two sets? Hopefully that made sense to you. You know, it's personal preference, but my feeling is one of those sets, I would buy the stamp set and the dies. The other one, I would just go with the dies. Personal. Okay? All right, so we're going to get going here. And good deal. I am going to show you what we're doing, and it's going to be kind of an experiment. You know, I did not like science in school. That was not my favorite thing. In fact, I'm going to be real truthful. I took it only as much as I had to, and then I think I was done by my freshman year. I was like, yeah, we're done. We're out of this. Because it just didn't appeal to me. Didn't appeal. And let me see if I can get this opened up a little more without causing too much friction here. Pam and I have different arm movement in lengths, and it makes it difficult going from one to the other. There, that's better for me. So we're going to use a new bundle from the new annual catalog. I am Jonna. I am purging away. Although Jim will tell you he thinks it's just moving from one room to the next. Because as I'm pulling stuff from my craft room, it's going into the guest bedroom. And then the guest bedroom, it will go from there down to the garage sale pile that I'm gathering for my BOGO sale. So, you know, he just thinks it's moving around. And I keep saying it's getting better. And he just kind of is like, yeah, right. But anyhow, I am purging, and we are getting trashed out, and it is a good feeling to see my room back to looking nice again. So this is the bundle we're going to do. It's called Sending Smiles, and this is one that is, might be not one that you kind of overlook in the catalog when you get going on it, because it's one of those where you have to put all the flowers together, and it's kind of a building one, and some people kind of look at that and they go, I don't want to have all that going, but it's really kind of fun. It has some good greetings, and the neat thing about it is that it takes this die, and there is an actual slender die that has the word sending, and then there's a shadow that goes behind it. And then you can create whatever greetings, sending smiles across the miles, all the good luck your way, sending sunshine to brighten your day, sending love and big hugs, birthday wishes, a note of thanks, a card to say hello, sending comfort and strength. And then the dies are like this. So there are dies that connect with the images of the stamps. There's two little labels that will cut all those little greetings out. And then, like I said, there's the shadow for sending, and then there's the actual fine detailed die for the actual word sending. Okay? So I didn't finish my card today, and I will show you why. And this is that experiment we're going to do. You know, it's a lot better than, hopefully, as I dissect, it's not doing those dang worms and frogs. Hated that. Okay, gosh, I hated that stuff. Oh, the smell. Anyhow, sending a card to say hello. But when we're done with this, we're not going to get just one card. We're going to have 4 cards, okay? So we're going to use one technique, and I don't know if anybody's got the technique name to it. All I know is stamp a big image and cut it into 4. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take everything off to the side here, my ribbon, because I want you to see, and I don't know if you do this or not, but hello, there's a lot of wasted space in there. cut those images out. Cut those die cuts out. Nobody's going to see it. When you're all done and you put it on the card, nobody's going to see it, anything. It's going to be completely covered. So why not use that paper and do this? Oh, thank you, Susan, for sharing that. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So this is why I wanted to show you and why it's not completed. So we're going to take a piece of white cardstock that is, I have to think, it's 8 by 10.5. So I cut it down from 8.5 by 11 to 8 by 10.5. And then we're going to stamp it as one big unit. Okay. Once I have it stamped, I will go back in and I will cut it. And guess what? I have 4 different mats that I can use for 4 different cards. Now they may have to be oriented a little bit different. Like this one might be better turned sideways. I don't know. But I know that when we're done, we're going to try to have 4 different card fronts. And we're going to do it all with one big piece of paper. So I'm going to go on ahead and I think I will be happiest with this if I turn this sideways. So give me a sec to knock this down a little. Yep, that's going to be better. And in fact, just in case this, oh, thanks, Ann. I've been seeing people doing it, and they have some beautiful pieces that they have done. I guess it's kind of the old-fashioned way of having designer series paper back before they started making the designer series paper. That was pre-Lola. I didn't stamp that. I wasn't around at that time. Okay, so again, this is 10. Should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and should be 10.5. And we're going to stamp it as one big unit. So we're going to start with an odd combination color combination. I pulled it directly from the catalog. And if you're looking at the new catalog, do I have it with me? No. It's in there. Yeah, it's right over there. So if you have the new catalog, I pulled it directly from the page that has the DSP called, I wish I could show you, but I can't. We get in trouble. I get my hand slapped. Hues of Happiness. Hues of Happiness is found on page number 108 and 109. And if you look on page 109, up at the top, it has the DSP, and then it has the colors that they recommend for that DSP. Okay? And so I pulled those all out. I pulled out Melon Mumbo, Granny Apple Green, Fresh Freesia, and Pool Party, and Daffodil Delight. And then I pulled out Night of Navy and decided it was too dark. I wanted one that was a little prettier, blue. So I pulled out the Starry Sky, and that's what we're going to start with. And this will either work or it won't, and that is what it is. So I'm going to start by inking up, and I'm going to ink up a lot, and I'm going to start in the middle of my paper and hope that I don't get too much splotches. And I'm going to just start putting my flower in. I'm going to come down and just turn it different directions. Oops. I can fix that. Close enough. Okay. Again, we're just kind of rotating them in, turning them every which way. And then I'm going across at the midway point. And so let me find where my midway point is. That would be 5 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. Okay. And I'm going across. And just like in biology and all of that, it may work and it may not. Oh well, that's just part of science, right? Part of science. Okay, now the first urge is to want to go on ahead and fill it up. But I got a lot of images that I want to put in there. So I'm going to put one in the corners just so I have a little something in the corner because that really bothered me. And while I'm at it, I've got this out. I'm going to go over here because guess what? I have a second one. And this second one is going to be my insides. Okay. So I'm going to come on in here and I'm going to stamp. And this time my image inside is going to be up at the top corners. Okay. And there it goes. I'll be back. Okay. So that's the first layer of color. Let's go in now and, ooh, is that messy? And let's make the Melon Mambo one. And this time I'm going to lay it in. I could, Jonna, you're right. I could. I could have scored. She said we could have scored it lightly, and that way I knew where my line was. The only thing is I don't want that line to show. And if I accidentally stamped on top of it, then I might have an image that doesn't have a complete image. Does that make sense? Okay, so now I'm going to take the Melon Mambo, and I'm going to lay some Melon Mambo flowers in. Not too close. Got a lot of white space, but I've got a lot of stuff to put in. Okay. And we may have to come back and add a few more. So we're just going to add a couple of images in the corner just to help give me some filler there. Because it really bothered me to have that open white space. Okay. Okay, so we keep going here. It's kind of a fun technique. I have to admit, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but, you know, kind of getting into it. It's kind of fun to be able to stamp. I don't know how people had to make their own DSP. Oh, that would have driven me nuts. I don't know that I would have done it. I'd have said, yep, Hobby Lobby, here I come. Okay, all right. So I'm going to close up the Melon Mambo for now. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start filling in, trying to get some of this more solid. Okay, so I'm going to just start filling in Daffodil Delights. I started with the darker color and the biggest shape. I thought that would be the one that would be hard to get. If I didn't have big shapes in first, it would be hard to squeeze a big shape in at the very end. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. And you got to watch it because you got the mentality to almost overdo. And you go, oh, I'll just keep adding. And the next thing you know, oh, it looks like crap. Okay. All right. I'm going to set that one off to the side. And I'm going to keep the yellow out. And I'm going to go in and do the center of the big blue flower. Now I have to hunt where that stamp is. Here it is. So I wasn't sure which was the top and which was the bottom, but I believe this is the bottom. It's kind of got little seed heads popping out. So we're just going to come in here and we're just going to put that in the middle, and if I'm not perfect, it'll be okay. Hey, Patsy. So now you think you like it. I have seen some really cool cards made with it. They're just fun and light, and I like them. I like this. So all of these have to be filled in, you know, for every one you do, you have to go back. And then when you turned it, then you have to go and turn every which way to fill it in. So I'm going to try to do one again tomorrow with Pam and I when we get together. And I'll probably use this again, but not these colors. I'll use something different. But I want to do one of those where you do, they started with a 6 by 6 inch piece and they stamped it this way. And then they do the angle cuts. I have never done one of those angle cuts where you don't have a solid piece. It's not a solid rectangle. It's cut at an angle and you die cut. I don't know. It's just an interesting way to do it. Okay, I think I have all the... Nope, there's a blue. I heard somebody yelling. There's a blue. Okay. All right, that's good. Now we're going to go back and let's take the Melon Mambo again. And this time on the Melon Mambo, we're going to add the little dot to the yellow flowers. So we're going to come in with this little pink one, and I'm just going to fit it in here, and I am going to be truthful. This is a trick. This one is tricky. To get it to lay right in there. Okay. And then we have to go back and add some Starry Sky. I love that blue. And I know some people have commented that their Starry Sky ink was kind of watery. Oop, I didn't do so hot with that one now, was it? I shouldn't talk. I didn't notice mine being watery. I thought it was pretty solid. Well, I am really sucking on this, girls. All right, that's fine. Usually I can do multiple things at one time, but talking and stamping today is not. There's one. Okay. All right. Now we've got to come back over here and do this one. It's the ones up here in this top corner that is getting to me because I can't see where I'm centering it. It's fine. Okay, so there's that one. And now let's come back to the Starry Sky. And now we're going to come in and do the pink flower head. And I'm going to use a different one. This is the one that was in, there were two centers. I don't like that center head. I don't like that one. I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with a different one. I'm going back to the one that I used with the yellow. So give me a second to clean this. I wish they would sometimes label their stamps, which coordinate with which. They have done that before, where they had them in order A, B, and C, and then they labeled them. But I guess they didn't feel like that was a needed thing. So let's go back. I want these pink heads to be a little bigger. All right. So I'm going to go back over this, and I'm going to stamp that again. I like that better. To me, it fills in better. Okay. All right. Let's do this one. And this one. I don't close my ink pads very often because I have trouble sometimes getting them to open back up, and I'm having to use, it's like they get locked in the channels or something. I don't know. So a lot of times will stamp with my ink pad laying open. All of a sudden, our little DSP panels are they're taking effect, aren't they? They're taking shape. We're down to 3 layers left. And they're just itty bitty fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks like school. Okay. Now this has a really cool stem feature to it, a stamp. I didn't use the feature of the stem because I didn't want to have flowers crossing over green stems. I just went with flower heads and a few leaves. Okay? Have we got it all? Pinks, 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 pinks. Okay. All right. So let's come back up here now. And let's add in some leaves. We're going to add them in with Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to throw some leaves in here. Just filling in, because you have open space and you've got to get some of this stuff filled in here. I like that too. It's kind of making it like the shape of a cross, aren't we? And I'm not turning my leaf any up, down, any one way. It just kind of, I think it would actually fit either direction the leaf will. Okay, that one wasn't very good. Let's see if I can stamp over it. Close enough. Okay, a few more and I'm done, because I still have 2 more layers to add on. Okay, coming over here, let's add a stem or 2, or leaf or 2. And we will move to the next color. Okay. All right. Just a few pieces. We're going to use the fresh freesia. And we're going to use it and kind of make it look like makes me think of lupins. Jim is popping pieces that go in the catalog, recycling. He's emptying my cardboard. I have so much cardboard. It's unreal.
I am keeping my New Year's resolution.
He is. He was determined this year he was going to be better at recycling and keeping things out of the landfill. And he's done a great job. Okay.
And Lola's New Year's resolution?
What is that?
Was to put up with it.
I do. I did. I have to put up with it because it's not one of my things. I'm just kind of like, oh, move on. I've got other stuff I got to do. But I do. I put up with it because I told him I would. I gave him my blessing. All right, so we're putting...
trash bags.
I did. For Christmas, I gave him trash bags. I said, here, that means you have my blessing. They're big body bag type things that he can use and empty and then save again for another time and help to recycle. Although, you know, it's kind of an oxymoron. I gave you trash bags to recycle. Okay. What do you think, guys? Looking good? Okay. All right. I need to add a few pieces here. Just a few little pieces here. I may talk too soon, but yesterday I was having problems. When I tried it, I thought, I gotta at least try one to see if this is gonna work. I was having problems keeping my images and my stamping clean Oh, thanks, Ann. Thanks, Patty. All right, so now let's go back, and while we've got this here, we're going to finish the last color. So we're going to use Pool Party. Not color combos that you would have thought, was it? But this is just my little light filler that's going to go in and just fill in any of the empty spots to really make it like it's all one bouquet. Kind of like baby's breath. Okay? All right. So we're going to do the same thing up here, and I'm just going in and filling any open holes that I feel like I need an image there, something, some color stamped there. Okay. And I'll do the same over here. Thanks, Lori. You girls, you got to try this. Jonna, this is a go-to thing today. You got to try it. This was fun. And you think, oh, where do I go? Where do I start? Start with the darker image. For me, it worked. I started with the darker image and the largest image. I made the darkest and the largest the same image, and then I just start filling in. And those other colors just kind of stamp over. And I would have never put this color combination together except I went in my catalog, the new annual catalog, page 109 up at the top, and you'll see that color combination. The only color that I didn't use was Night of Navy, and I substituted out the Starry Sky. I heard you. Somebody was yelling it. I heard it. Okay. All right, so we keep going here, and we are getting closer to being done. And this was fun and easy. Look at this. And I'm going to get 4 cards out of this. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop with that, although I probably could just kept on going. Okay, now we're going to do the hard part, the fun part. Not the hard part, the fun part. So because I didn't waste any of my paper. I started with paper that was 8 by 10.5. I'm going to go on ahead, and I'm not going to have to lose any image on here. I'm just going to cut it in half at the 4, and I'm going to cut it at half again at 5 1/4. And there are my card panels. 5 1/4. Okay, and while I'm at it and have the paper cutter here, we're going to go on ahead and cut the inside pieces. I'd tell you that my New Year's resolution is that I was going to try to finish up my cards when I got them done, and they'd be completely finished, and I'm so bad. I get going on them, and then I get the fronts done, and I don't get the insides done, and then I have to go in, and I have to stamp, and I have to, And so my resolution was to try and finish my cards. I passed. I failed. I mean, miserably. I am so past it because didn't succeed. All right, so now let's put 4 cards together, and we're going to do it relatively quickly, and we are done. So I took that off to the side, but I need to score. So I am going with Daffodil Delight. Not a traditional color that I use a lot. I just don't. Yellow, it's not, there's other colors. It's not that I dislike yellow. It's just that there are other colors that we have that I like better. And so it's common human nature to always go to the ones that you like the best. Okay, so this is kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone too. Okay, so now let's start putting 4 cards together. Let's get the insides out of the way and get them gone. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming. Okay, and let's stamp not stamp, but let's adhere these on the inside. Some of them will be, the image will be up at the top, some will be at the bottom. I did not want to get into one of those having to rotate my paper to figure out which one was where and all that. They're all going the same way. Okay, so here's this one. So there's one inside. Here's another inside. Okay. And another inside. This one we're going up here. So they're all oriented the same way vertically, but the images are stamped in such a way that I'm putting them in different corners. I could, but then the cone flower would be upside down. So this one is the bottom one, okay? All right, so there's those four. Now let's put these on. If you were late, remember I said, for those of you that were late, I went in and I die cut the word sending out because it's going to be covered up. Think about that. Think of all the time that you could be die cutting a few images out and saving on paper, because let's face it, you know, we want to be frugal. Okay, there's one. Here's number two. Here's number three. I look at the pink cone flower to help me know which direction I'm going. So I have a pile of stuff that is going into my BOGO cell later on. I have a pile of stuff that is going to my granddaughter's schools. I grabbed any of the retired DSPs that are in scraps and things, and that's going to their schools along with old cardstock. I had like 3 packages of Rococo Rose. Hello. What the heck was I going to do with 3 more packages of Rococo Rose when nothing matches it? So, and to be truthful, I probably have already sold the Rococo Rose. All right, so I'm going to just put this here. Okay, there's one. We're putting that on here. Oh, I love these bright colors. Love these bright colors. Okay, so there's one. And this is a daffodil ribbon that was in, I think it was in the clearance. It's the ruched one. I don't know if it's still available or not, but I think it was, because somebody had just ordered it not too long ago from one of my groups. And I had bought it knowing purposely that I was going to be doing a daffodil sampler. Okay, there's card number 2. Card number 3, and it is pretty. That ruched is really, really pretty. Megan's dress, wedding dress, had a ruched front. Oh gosh, it was gorgeous. And I had one too as a mother of the bride, and I gotta tell you what, I looked frickin' stunning in it. As much as I could, you know. But yeah, to the point that that dress is still in my closet, and it's not gonna be purged because I like it. Maybe I'll tell Megan to bury me in it. Sorry, this is getting morbid, isn't it? Okay. All right, card 3. One more. One more. Yeah, Jonna. Maureen went shopping with us to buy the wedding dress the bride's dress and the wedding dress, you know, because I am not a shopper. And so my best friend dearly loves to shop, and I went and paid. That's not my thing. In fact, when Evan got married, I ordered the dress. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oops. I have mutated to another whole topic here. So here we go. So there's 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Linda Ellis, glad you're here. We don't mind if you're late or not. We just take you however you come. Okay? So, Linda, you'll have to go back because I actually stamped this as an 8 by 10 piece of paper. And then I turned around and cut it so that it was all my mats. But I stamped it all as one piece. So I'm going to take these little sendings. I'm going to turn them upside down. I'm going to put some glue on them. Let me get rid of these little splotches that have little, okay. And we are actually very close to being done. Yes, she is. Our friend Maureen is a fashionista. She is the shopper. She went with Megan for one of her prom dresses. It was her sophomore year when she went with somebody to the prom. Actually, no, that was her junior year. She took someone else. She went 5 years. And she was like, can you believe I'm a freshman in college going with a senior boy to prom? Anyhow, Maureen did such a wonderful job helping us find a prom dress that after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm sending you with the credit card and I'm sending you with Maureen and you guys just go to town and buy it. I do not want to go shopping. And had it not been the wedding dress, I probably would have done the same thing. But being the wedding dress, I guess I should have been there. But I just sat there and let them go to town. And they dug and they pulled and the gal was pulling. And the next thing I know, they found it. And I'm like, great. Awesome. Okay. That's the only bad thing about this is that these pieces are very, very narrow. So I'm just going to kind of lightly glue. And we are so close to being done because all we have to do is glue these on, put them on with dimensionals, do the greeting, and some glimmer dots. And we have 4 cards in a fun stamping session. And probably the worst of it will be the cleaning of them. But I probably didn't need to do this, but I need to get the picture taken. Oh, crap. I forgot to take a picture for my blog. They'll have to just go online and watch the video. Okay. Forgive my mouth. This is the same, Maureen is the same one whose daughter, hey Chris, how are you? Chris had knee replacement, everyone. So she is home recuperating. So good to see you here, Chris. And I've given her a job for church. But she just has to send an email out, so she'll be okay. Hope everything continues to go well. Maureen is the one that came to me, and her son was getting married in Ecuador. Brett and Daniela was from Ecuador. And Maureen said, I want a special gift to take to the mother of the bride, and I want something very personal that I have made. So I want you to help me make cards. And I'm like, huh? You want cards in Ecuador? And she said, yes, I want greeting cards in Ecuador, and I want them to have Spanish sayings. And I'm like, you're kidding. And she's like, no, this is really what I want. So I had to search and search and search, but we found Spanish greetings on stamps. Look how nice that lays in there. Look at that. And we stamped 3 boxes of greeting cards, and then we boxed them up in those acrylic boxes and tied them up with ribbons and stuff. So that way they made it safely through the luggage and traveling without getting bent. After all that work, we were not losing cards. And there's that one. And it was perfect. It was perfect. Where did I find them? I think I don't know, Jonna. I typed in I might have found them on Amazon. Type in Spanish greetings, rubber stamps. I still have the set because, gosh darn it, it took me a while to find it. I wasn't about to lose that sucker. So we could always make more if needed be. All right. Okay, so there's that one. And there is a little dot that comes out in the die. It is so stinking tiny. It is like ridiculous. So why would you not just take a blend and do this? I'm sorry, it was little, itty bitty, 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 bitty. It's actually this one right here. It's on here. Okay, let's finish it up and we are done. Dimensionals. 4 cards in 1 stamping. Pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. Okay. Sometimes my dimensional backing comes off the paper with it. Okay. All right, I'm only going to finish one here so that we can wrap it up for you, but I'll lay the others on here and you'll see what I'm doing and how we finished it. Okay, so let's put this one here, sending. And then we have the greeting. It says, the one that I chose is the one that says a card, sending a card to say hello. And I'm just going to put across this. Sending a card to say hello. I'm going to put a little bit of a tie on this. Probably a bow because I have plenty of ribbon. I am a ribbon hoarder. Linda, if you stick around, I will show you a stamped image one more time. I'll show the panel of what I had at the beginning when I started yesterday. Okay, so I'll play with the bow some more. And then we got to have some bling. So we have a new bling coming out. This is called Glossy Dots. And they are really, really pretty. And it just so happened that they use Pool Party. And Daffodil Delight. And Melon Mambo. Okay. So there they are. I have 4 cards that I will complete and post on my website. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me pull them up here a little farther so that we can kind of see them all. Well, I'm out of view. So sorry, guys. Tried not to be out of view. Maybe that'll work. Okay. And I will just lay these on here. So here's another sending. And another sending. And you can angle it however you want. I'm just kind of using it to go in the filler of the white. Okay. And then the greetings will say a card to say hello. And we started off. This is what we ended up with. Let me show you how we started it. So these were the 4 panels at the beginning. I have to match them again. Okay, so there's 2. There's the top. Okay, it's like a puzzle. Like a puzzle. There's 3. And there's 4. So again, if you were late, good. I'm glad you're going to try this, Anne. Everybody, give it a shot. I started off with a piece of a white DSP that was cut down to 8 by 10.5. And that way, all I have to do is go in and split it in the middle, and I have my 4 panels immediately, and I'm not losing any of the inked images. At the same time, I did another piece that was 8 by 10.5, and I only stamped in the 4 corners, and those became my mats for the inside. So I don't have to go back and re-ink and redo. It's all done at one time. Okay? Cut it apart. Put it on your card fronts and go to town. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Something different. And for not liking science, I'm doing an experiment here with all of this. I think we were successful. Thank goodness. All right. Take care. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.